Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Produce or yield flowers. The cherry tree bloomed. The organic process of bearing flowers. You will stop all bloom if you let the flowers go to seed. The best time of youth. A rosy color, especially in the cheeks, taken as a sign of good health. Reproductive organ of angiosperm plants, especially one having showy or colorful parts. A powdery deposit on a surface. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. Develop or come to a promising stage. Youth blossomed into maturity. Produce or yield flowers. Reproductive organ of angiosperm plants, especially one having showy or colorful parts. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. Produce or yield flowers. Reproductive organ of angiosperm plants, especially one having showy or colorful parts. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. A plant cultivated for its blooms or blossoms. Informal intensifiers. The organic process of bearing flowers. The best time of youth. The best time of youth. Turn red, as if in embarrassment or shame. The girl blushed when a young man whistled as she walked by. Sudden reddening of the face, as from embarrassment or guilt or shame or modesty. A rosy color, especially in the cheeks, taken as a sign of good health. Become rosy or reddish. Her cheeks blushed in the cold winter air. Turn red, as if in embarrassment or shame. Having an abundant supply of money or possessions of value. A speculator flush with cash. Sudden brief sensation of heat, associated with menopause and some mental disorders. Sudden reddening of the face, as from embarrassment or guilt or shame or modesty. Irrigate with water from a sluice. A rosy color, especially in the cheeks, taken as a sign of good health. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. A sudden rapid flow, as of water. He heard the flush of a toilet. Rinse, clean, or empty with a liquid. Flush the wound with antibiotics. Make level or straight. The swift release of a store of effective force. A poker hand with all 5 cards in the same suit. Cause to flow or flood with or as if with water. Flush the meadows. Flow freely. The garbage flushed down the river. Glow or cause to glow with warm color or light. The sky flushed with rosy splendor. Of a surface exactly even with an adjoining one, forming the same plane. A door flush with the wall. A healthy reddish complexion. A rosy color, especially in the cheeks, taken as a sign of good health. A dusty pink color. The time and process of budding and unfolding of blossoms. A powdery deposit on a surface. Any red eruption of the skin. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. The highest point, of something. At the peak of the pyramid. AV shape. The most extreme possible amount or value. Voltage peak. To reach the highest point. Attain maximum intensity, activity. That wild, speculative spirit peaked in 1929. The top or extreme point of something, usually a mountain or hill. The view from the peak was magnificent. A brim that projects to the front to shade the eyes. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. The peak of perfection. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. Being at the best stage of development. Our manhood's prime vigor. The time of maturity when power and vigor are greatest. Cover with a primer. Apply a primer to. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. A natural number that has exactly two distinct natural number divisors, one in itself. First in rank or degree. The Prime Minister. Of superior grade. Prime beef. Fill with priming liquid. Prime a car engine. Insert a primer into a gun, mine, or charge, preparatory to detonation or firing. Prime a cannon. Of or relating to or being an integer that cannot be factored into other integers. Prime number. The second canonical hour, about 6 a.m. Used of the first or originating agent. Prime mover. Create by training and teaching. We develop the leaders for the future. Work out. We have developed a new theory of evolution. Come to have or undergo a change of physical features and attributes. The patient developed abdominal pains. Cause to grow and differentiate in ways conforming to its natural development. The perfect climate here develops the grain. Gain through experience. Children must develop a sense of right and wrong. Change the use of and make available or usable. Develop land. Come into existence. Take on form or shape. Happen. Report the news as it develops. Elaborate, as of theories and hypotheses. Could you develop the ideas in your thesis? Become technologically advanced. Many countries in Asia are now developing at a very fast pace. Grow emotionally or mature. The child developed beautifully in her new kindergarten. Be gradually disclosed or unfolded. Become manifest. The plot developed slowly. Elaborate by the unfolding of a musical idea and by the working out of the rhythmic and harmonic changes in the theme. Develop the melody and change the key. Expand in the form of a series. Generate gradually. We must develop more potential customers. Grow, progress, unfold, or evolve through a process of evolution, natural growth, differentiation, or a conducive environment. A flower developed on the branch. Make something new, such as a product or a mental or artistic creation. Her company developed a new kind of building material that withstands all kinds of weather. Make visible by means of chemical solutions. Please develop this roll of film for me. Move into a strategically more advantageous position. Develop the rook. Move one's pieces into strategically more advantageous positions. Spassky developed quickly. Superimpose a three-dimensional surface on a plane without stretching, in geometry. A process occurring in living organisms. A process occurring in living organisms. A period of time during which a person is normally in a particular life state. The state of being vigorous and free from bodily or mental disease. The state of being vigorous and free from bodily or mental disease. The parts of a plant involved in its reproduction. The formation of crystals. The formation of crystals. A rock formed by the solidification of a substance has regularly repeating internal structure, external plane faces. The formation of crystals. A mental synthesis that becomes fixed or concrete by a process resembling crystal formation. An amount of time. A time period of 30 years. An amount of time. A time period of 30 years. The monthly discharge of blood from the uterus of non-pregnant women from puberty to menopause. A unit of geological time during which a system of rocks formed. Ganoid fishes swarmed during the earlier geological periods. A punctuation mark, placed at the end of a declarative sentence to indicate a full stop or after abbreviations. In England they call a period a stop. Ice hockey, one of three divisions into which play is divided in hockey games. The end or completion of something. Death put a period to his endeavors. The interval taken to complete one cycle of a regularly repeating phenomenon. An amount of time. Hastened the period of time of his recovery. Come into or as if into flower. Be unleashed. Emerge with violence or noise. Jump out from a hiding place and surprise someone. Come into or as if into flower. These manifestations effloresced in the past. Assume crystalline form. Become crystallized. Become encrusted with crystals due to evaporation. The time and process of budding and unfolding of blossoms. The flowering part of a plant or arrangement of flowers on a stalk. Flower having no petals. A partially opened flower. A swelling on a plant stem consisting of overlapping immature leaves or petals. Develop buds. The hibiscus is budding. Start to grow or develop. A budding friendship.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.